Rock 1 2.1 KF, man. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. All right. So, as you know by now, there's a lot of news in the mainstream media, and they're going to try to get you to believe the official narrative. But your friend, Beef Vegan here, is here to read between the lines for you to let you know what's really going on in another round of Ask a Conspiracist. And we're not even talking about how the bullet didn't match the Charlie Kirk assassination from the rifle that was shot. Not yet. That's going to be in the podcast broadcast. That's a whole nother thing.
Oh, that just came out.
Oh, yeah, that just came out. And that's going to make the trial pretty interesting considering the murder weapon didn't match the bullet that assassinated the man, right?
Wow.
But again, we'll have a deeper dive on that during the podcast broadcast. But first, let's get into some other news, Mari. What caught your attention this week?
The American Meteor Society says there's been some major surges in large fireball sightings this year. With nearly 80% producing sonic booms and far more witnesses than normal.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
You concerned? Well, first off, they're not meteors, so you should be concerned.
They're fireballs.
Well, no, initially, this is from the American Meteor Society, that meteors were coming, causing, when a meteor comes through the atmosphere, it creates a fireball, right?
Yes?
And when it hits the, atmosphere, when it hits the planet, it creates those booms, the sonic booms.
Oh.
Now, this is up more than any previous year, and so something is afoot, right? But those things entering the atmosphere aren't meteors, right? If you think about it, scientists always call them fireballs when they don't know exactly what they are yet.
Are they from Mario? Like the fire outfit?
You wish.
I do.
And no. Unfortunately, there's not a secret Mario in the sky shooting fireballs at us.
Darn.
That wouldn't be good anyways, because it would probably be Wario, and he'd be trying to, take us all out.
I love him.
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyways, the number of sightings suddenly spiked. That's not random space rocks. That's traffic. There's something out there figured out how to get here faster, and they're starting to show up. So basically, when astronomers say unusual activity, that's science talk for we're not totally sure what just flew over Kansas. So keep an eye on the skies, basically, and you're going to have to figure it out in real time. As of right now, experts don't have the answers. What's something else that caught your attention?
Okay, this one's very interesting to me, but not surprised. President Trump has officially confirmed the military is building a large underground complex beneath a new $400 million White House ballroom.
No. Okay, nobody just builds a massive underground bunker just to stop drones.
They all have them, though, like Zuckerberg, Bezos. They all have their little underground huts.
Yeah, every billionaire wants a bunker. It's like the latest toy and accessory. It's like, you got a Bugatti? That's nothing. You see my bunker?
Temperature controlled, humidity controlled.
Right. But you know what this sounds like? Continuity of government bunker. Right?
Okay.
That's the place where world leaders go when something big is about to happen. So here's the weird part. They're hiding it under a ballroom, which means during some future crisis, the public might see politicians calmly attending a fancy dinner, right? Oh, don't mind me. It's just our senator's prom. We do it every year, but just randomly. While 60 feet below them, the military command center is already fully activated.
Wow.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
tricky.
And
then what? All us normies just blow up? Or?
Really? Well, yeah, I mean, that's the end game. But nothing says everything's fine like a chandelier directly above a war bunker. You know what I mean? Be like, is it open bar during the apocalypse? I don't even know. But yeah, we'll never know when it's time for the world to meet. And you think it's just going to be a nice little steak and lobster dinner, but really it's a secret rendezvous with the world's leaders dictating and deciding our fate.
You know what? That's kind of smart, though. A little ruse.
Okay, I'm glad that you're a fan of it.
Okay.
At the end of the day, that's the reason why the ballroom's taking so long to be built.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. He loves it. The president loves that ballroom. Massive. I mean, just ask him about it. I mean, during anything. You talk in the middle of the Iran war conversation, you just say, so how's that ballroom? And you are his favorite reporter by far. And he'll go on for 20 minutes talking about everything from, the tile to the ceilings, to the beams, but not the bunker.
No.
I mean, the bunker was brought up recently just because they had to make that information public because of a lawsuit. And now he's like, it's a beautiful bunker. It's gold walls everywhere in the bunker, things like that.
Yeah, gold toilet.
Oh, yeah, definitely gold toilets.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get back to the news at hand.
NASA They are preparing to launch Artemis 2, finally, the first crewed mission around the moon in more than 50 years. And you've been doubting this, but I am so excited to go around the moon, see the man in the moon.
Look, it's not that I've been doubting this, right? NASA just didn't suddenly decide not to go back after 50 years, right? So they've been to the moon 6 times in the 60s and 70s, and then they stopped.
Yeah.
And then a half a century goes by. Why? All of a sudden, do we need to go there again so urgently? It sounds less like exploration and more like checking on something.
Like what?
That's the question that we don't have answers for, Mari. And that's the reason why we need to keep asking these questions. Because if we really had something, if we really had nothing to do up there, we would have just kept going the entire time. And have little space trips and have a little, Buc-ee's up there and things like that. Yes, dude.
It's expensive.
Don't get me mad, okay? Look.
You're such a moon denier.
I'm not a moon denier, right? The moon is there. I see it.
We landed on the moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. And then we were told not to come back. And then now we're going back 50 years later. But we forgot the plans or, all the technology that we had in the 60s to get there in the first place. So we delayed it to figure out where those secret plans were. Then I guess we found them or we figured it out. And then meanwhile, Elon Musk is going to Mars and just dropping turds on the atmosphere. And then it's like, okay, now we're going to go back. But why the urgency going back? And of course, the space race that never ended. China would be there. Russia would be there. They would all be there and saying the moon is ours, bitch. Because guess what? These superpowers don't play nice with one another. They claim territory basically like dudes claim wives. Be like, that's my wife. Don't touch her. Right? Anyways, you don't just leave somewhere for 50 years and then rush back unless you forgot something. Yes, they're rushing.
A while.
Because they are effing up and they want to get back there. They're rushing back before China can get there. Still, it's still a space race 50 years later, Mari. I mean, the reality is you just got to check the results.
I love how heated you get about the moon.
Well, I mean, the denial is a little maddening. Anyways, let me wrap this up. Because, again, there's something up there that they need to go up there for. That's the reason why they're attempting to rush back to the moon after 50 years of allegedly being on the moon, right? So in recap, when meteors are suddenly everywhere, the White House is building secret underground bases and NASA's heading back to the moon. Yeah, I mean, it's just a totally normal week,
So normal.
Yeah. Let's hit the reset. We got more coming up after music from STP. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Let's try not to get a shadow ban from the internet today. KFMA. So if you can present, Mari has questions, but we're not going to give those answers. All right, Mari, we will open up a can of worms and a whole nother conspiracy theory super attracted not real time. Did you know? And he had an identical twin. Hold on, and say the first. Sorry, I know that I had double audio for a second. All right, did you know that obviously there's a lot of people that are questioning the official narrative on the Charlie Kirk assassination? Of course, the Charlie Kirk assassination also divided the country because then, there's people, who basically were attacking. It's politicized, right? The left versus the right. And this is one of those scenarios. And Charlie Kirk, of course, did get assassinated in front of everybody publicly. We all saw it online, too, and it's graphic. It was brutal, a terrible way to go. The thing is, what was being said at the very beginning was like, the bullet with the rifle, that doesn't necessarily line up. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit because the defense attorneys now put this in as evidence saying, oh, by the way, yes, you arrested our client and that's great and all, and you say you have evidence. That's great and all. But the murder weapon you're saying he used, it does not match the bullet that from the autopsy. So it was said from the beginning, and I know you heard this, Rico. This was arguments that all the podcasters and platforms were saying, hey, this was like a hunting rifle that is used to kill moose.
Right.
And
it left a bowling ball sized hole in him if that was the actual rifle.
It would just, I was talking to my dad about this yesterday. I'm like, it wouldn't even leave a hole in the neck. It would leave no neck. There would be a head. And then there would be a body. There would not be a neck. And that's what they were saying. People who knew more about this type of firearms, because I'm not a hunter, so I don't know, right? And so, I mean, I heard, I was like, okay, that's an interesting point. But now the fact that this is going to be admitted into evidence and go to trial, now this takes this open and shut murder case, assassination case, into a case where this guy could very well get off and may not be solely responsible for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And wrap your mind around that, because, like, say, Candace Owens, of course, is an ally of or Charlie Kirk, and is mourning Charlie, aggressively, and she's out there every single day. Every one of her shows is dedicated to trying to discover the truth of what really happened with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I mean, some would argue that she's mourning Charlie Kirk more so than his widow. Some would argue that.
Some would argue that. Yeah.
Right.
She's not doing backflips.
Right. Coming out the sparklers and stuff. Yes. Being made fun of by Jersky yet, but will. So, I find it fascinating. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
It's
I
like
have the
the
information.
JFK Warren Commission 2.0.
Well,
this whole thing feels like.
Unfortunately, our country does have a history, and I know you don't want to believe this, Mari. Our country does have a history of martyring people and assassinating people. And unfortunately, it takes about 50, 60 years for that information to be declassified, for it to be like, oh, yeah, by the way, yes, you were right. They did do it. So, 2026 has already been the year of the conspiracists, as far as them doing victory laps. They're like, hey, yeah, see, we told you. And I know that it's easier to just be like, nah.
No, I believe. There's some shreds of truth in this one. I get it. Like, Erica was really strange.
She's got devil
It's
eyes.
the moon that I want to defend, though, because I do appreciate the moon.
Let's stay focused on one thing at a time. And you know what? In fact, actually, I'll hit a hard reset. And what we're going to talk about, because of what I'm going to show you right now, is a lot more fun than that. And so, and then we'll get into the conspiracies a little bit on the podcast. Rock 102.1 KF, man. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're live on a podcast broadcast. There you can see the video we're about to show you, which is mind-blowing. Obviously, our U of A Wildcats are in the Final Four. They're facing off against the number 1 Michigan this Saturday. Bear down. Now, this team is so good, they're thinking this might be the team to run it back and win a national championship for the very first time since 1997. What happened in 1997? Well, we had an all-star team, and we won the national championship. How did Tucson celebrate? By how most college towns celebrate: rioting in the streets, tearing up everything. And I got this. I got this video sent to me. I'm gonna shout this out because it was DM'd to me on Instagram by Carlos. All right, and I believe Carlos. Yeah, Carlos. Carlos sent me this video, and this is from 1997. This is amazing. This is Tucson in 1997, starting with students filing into O'Malley's on 4th. This is 4th Avenue.
Wow.
And this
is
is
the same.
Yes, this is how Tucson celebrated winning the Final Four in 1997. We're going to
before the game, and U of A students are lining up outside O'Malley's to make sure they get in and get a seat. 4 hours. How will they pass the time? Make fun if you will, but hey, this is a school day. And class.
So you could hear the quality of the television. This is all shot. I think this is KLD, the 13.
Wow.
Back in 1997. This is what 4th Avenue looked like, and a lot of it hasn't changed. Of course, there has been a lot of change along the ways. But this does lead into riots in the streets because this video is titled 1997 4th Avenue Riots in Tucson. So I'm going to scrub ahead to the action here. They show Kentucky, the Arizona game, and then let's look into the celebration. Here, we'll go this far here.
Now, police are saying that that this is an unlawful assembly. Obviously, it is. As they're turning over cars, they are warning people to stay away. Arrest certainly can't be far behind.
Things escalated pretty quickly, right? We were just sitting down having lunch at O'Malley's.
Reading books.
Reading books. Yeah,
Let's go.
I got a final coming up, but yeah, go Wildcats. And then, by the way, I'm going to flip over this car real quick. We won.
You can see it is pandemonium. Our cameras are up on top of a building
I like how they
on
branded
4th Avenue.
Fans. Look at the logo.
And as you can see, wild fans climbing the poles, getting crazy. I think we had an idea that it would happen. We had hoped that it wouldn't turn ugly. Again, the police are telling people, stay away, stay away. We have reporters in the area. When we can get live communication with them, we'll certainly bring the latest news from them.
Beautiful. No kidding, dude.
Yeah. Were you involved in the 1997 Fourth Avenue riots? I know you might be older, right? But anyone that was there at the scene, I would definitely love to hear from you. 600 KFMA, 600-5362. This went on. Now, this happens, obviously, when teams win championships, especially long droughts. 1997, a lot of you out there probably weren't even born then. But yeah, that's the last time we won a championship. Is she going to take her shirt off? That would be fantastic.
Dude, not a
No,
phone in
showing
sight. Look at that.
Yeah, not a phone in
No
sight.
phones.
Yeah, and one police vehicle. At least some things never change.
Right.
And they flip it over. No, I don't know if they flip over the police car yet. No spoilers. So we're going to watch more of this here. But yeah, this is amazing footage.
From celebration to near insanity, the intersection of 4th Avenue and 8th Street became ground zero as fans exploded into euphoria, taking it to the extremes.
Little flannel.
Oh man, the 90s were a wild time. Here's a reminder: when we knock on wood, when we win the national championship this year, bear down, celebrate responsibly and try not to damage the city streets. See, that's me being vegan, being a good presenter and a citizen here, right?
Yes.
So do not wild out like that. And if you're shown on screen showing off your U of A shirt and you happen to be like a D cup, do not flash your breast for the camera for everyone to see. You know, that will only add to the celebration. Do not do that. All right, we're going to have more right after new music from Turnstile. Here's Look Out for Me and Rock 102.1 KFMA. Okay, you could do that. You could, if we win a national championship
Like
and you
off air.
feel like sharing the areolas, then you do that.
For more than 2 hours,
6
Tucson
months old.
police stood patiently by as hundreds poured into the streets in front of O'Malley's bar. One of the early victims, an unmarked police car, turned over and crushed against the light pole. That was closely followed by the windshield of another police car, which was kicked, stomped, and shattered. Inside O'Malley's, one U of A student could not believe the chaos. News 13 was not immune as rioters ripped into a news unit. A bouncer chased off the vandals.
High-fiving people in the walk by.
Police chose a passive tactic.
You know those cops, dude. That's 1997. They all got the uniform mustache. It looks like the
Aye.
70s, man.
I know, man.
It's nuts.
Deciding to allow the wildfire of emotion to burn itself out.
We would have hoped for better, but it also could have been a lot worse.
An accurate statement because beyond the shattered cars and the torn down street signs, there were no serious injuries.
There we go. Hey, we celebrate
Yeah,
responsibly.
there you go.
Yeah, you represent Tucson. Sure, you damaged a couple police cars and tore all the street signs down,
They'll be fine.
but nobody got injured, so that's fun. Yeah, bear down.
From above the mayhem, it was clear the vast majority cared nothing about vandalism. They only wanted to celebrate. As they rode the wave of excitement, danced in the streets, and favored the sweet taste of victory.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I see it. I mean, maybe it's my fault. I was raised on Girls Gone Wild. But when I see a girl on a guy's shoulders in a crowded area like that, then I expect the flash.
You know,
Yeah.
you would expect.
You expect.
I think you're right. The best part about that was a little graphic in the corner, Wild fans.
I
They
know.
were so
like
excited
that.
about that. Like the editor-in-chief was like, yeah, run with it.
Right there.
Let's go,
As
Wild
they're
fans.
rioting and committing felonies.
Yeah.
Put a nice,
Wild fans.
catchy little Wild Fans
Right.
logo on there. Look how adorable that is.
So funny.
Oh, they murdered 3 cops. Wild,
Wild
fans. That's so
fans.
wild. You know, it's amazing. But that was awesome. And thank you, Carlos, for sending me that video
Hell
clip. What a stroll down memory lane. And we would hope that the party hits the street. Now, it will be a Monday night. So if it is a party on the street, I'll read about it in the morning because I'll be asleep by then, right? My old ass won't be there. But it's going to be great either way. In fact, actually, Saturday might jump off the hook with, the U of A game, which is nuts. And if they beat Michigan, that's kind of a mini national championship. Those two teams are number one.
Mhm.
A lot of people are arguing. I know I sound like Trump all the time. A lot of people are saying, but the people want this reseeded. They don't want Michigan and U of A to go against each other. They feel like
Right.
they're kind of getting gypped out of a real national championship game in the semi. So Rock 102.1 KFMA. There you go. Brand new music from Turnstile. Look Out For Me is the name of that song. Welcome back to the podcast broadcast where we just watched and reacted to this amazing throwback clip from almost 30 years ago to the day that U of A fans rushed to the streets of 4th Avenue and completely rioted, turning over cars, and taking down street signs, all in celebration of our national championship that we had in 1997. And we're hoping that we get to run it back and get another national championship, this time without the damage, But the celebration nonetheless. Let's celebrate to the street. Let's make 4th Avenue pop off. That'd be fantastic. It'll be a Monday night. Most of us over 30 won't be there. But we can read about it on the news and watch it on TikTok. It's going to be phenomenal. Times have changed. Times have definitely changed, right? But yeah, that's fantastic. All right, let's talk about this real quick. And this is worth mentioning because it's a very interesting tidbit of information. As we know, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed during a speaking event at Utah Valley University in September 2025 after a sniper fired a single shot from a nearby rooftop. But did he? Is the question. Police later recovered a bolt-action rifle with a scope near the scene, and they arrested a 22-year-old suspect named Tyler Robinson, who faces multiple charges, including aggravated murder. But this case has taken a surprising turn. According to new court filings and forensic analysis, the bullet recovered from Kirk's body cannot be conclusively matched to the rifle authorities say was used in the shooting, meaning the bullet and the weapon don't match at all. That seems like an impossibility, an improbability at very least. Defense attorneys are arguing that this mismatch could cast doubt on whether that weapon was actually the one used to kill Kirk, and are asking the court to delay the preliminary hearing so experts can conduct further analysis. Now, as previously assumed when this first happened, the issue was that this was a hunting rifle designed to kill large game. And for human flesh to be in contact with that, it would not have been the results that, unfortunately, we all saw as a society. So right off the bat, the public was a little suspicious of the official narrative, right? Mm-hmm. But now with this, and you bring in the forensic science behind it, the issue is that's enough to cast reasonable doubt in almost any jury. So at the end of the day, when it comes to the Charlie Kirk assassination, we might not know who the person who assassinated him is, even if it was Tyler Robinson. Because he would be able to get off in this case because, again, if you say, hey, this was actually going to be like an artillery shell that would have blown him to bits, but instead it was a 22 that went into his neck, right, it doesn't make sense, right? And that's an issue.
Things were already confusing as it was, but the fact that it gets elevated to like litigation now like makes it more obviously like validated.
Yeah.
That's official now.
Yeah, that's as factual as you can get when it's submitted in a court of law. So This is not hearsay. This is not a Reddit thread. Right? This is evidence submitted in a court of law saying, okay, your evidence A doesn't match evidence B. And unfortunately, to get to a conclusive verdict, those two things, most importantly, not motive, not mental state, not political affiliation, not sexual orientation. None of those things matter. You need the bullet to match the gun that killed the man. That matters most. So now this case is expected to continue in court for the coming weeks as lawyers battle over this ballistic evidence. All right. So this is, again, not open and shut. It's going to be full-blown courtroom chaos that's going to be happening here for the Charlie Kirk thing. And it's only going to fuel the speculation online even more so. So be prepared for that. And now the big question is not who, but why.
Why?
Exactly. All right, let's hit the reset on the FM side. We got more Beef Vegan Presents coming up right after this. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Look at me, huh? That's not a bad little
felt
case.
Like I was gonna say like a Netflix special introduction.
A little bit.
I was waiting for the intro like logo to come up, but why?
Yeah. What do you guys think? Was that okay?
Ask Candace Owens. She'll tell you everything.
Was it a stupid shit show? Was that the show itself or the case itself?
Huh? Who said it?
A commenter. So I was like, as I'm patting myself on the back.
That's a good show name. It is. Welcome to the Stupid Shit Show.
Was that a good? Did I present a good little segment of information, or am I a stupid shit show?
I just want to see you in like a dark room with a shadow on your face. Be like, but why?
Yeah.
And then a big logo
Politics
emerges.
is for American idiots. Anyways,
Stupid shit show.
Yeah. I don't know what side you're on, and that's fine. Thank you for tuning in and adding a comment nonetheless. All right, let's I was like, let's answer this phone. Oh, not my show. Okay, thank you. All right, see, that was a good presentation. I'm just
Now you're okay.
I'm just delivering the information. I was just like, how was my delivery on the information? And even did throw out speculation, but it was.
I assumed it was him talking about the political circus landscape, but you're taking it personal. Like, I'm a stupid shit show.
It's the internet.
This isn't a stupid shit show.
It's the internet. I didn't know. And I just thought the timing would have been perfect too. It was just like, hey, I didn't do too many flubs there.
Right.
I felt like I presented a decent enough information and the present was dramatic enough for the be engaging.
Oh, God.
And then I'm like, oh, no, I'm just stupid shit.
You're going to wake up at 4 a.m. with that in your head, like, stupid shit show? I'll show him.
No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. We do have a bunch to get to, including a zombie fella, and I have another video that I want to share with you. But earlier this morning, we talked about this hypothetical scenario that's actually real as well, talking about confusing cases. This is the case of the woman who hooked up with identical twins and got pregnant by one of them, but didn't know who the father is. We talked about it earlier this morning. When you get a chance, or in case you missed it, went like this. I didn't work out or whatever. Would you hook up with the identical twin?
No.
Why not?
They share the same genes. They're like copies of each other.
Right. Exactly. So why would you not hook up with the same person?
Because I didn't work out with the first one. Why would I try the second one?
Say, okay, what if you just wanted to hook up? Put yourself in Party Mari's mind, right? Party Mari is just like, she's out, she's grabbing drinks. She doesn't want to be weighed down in a relationship. She's not thinking about that. She just wants the D. She hooks up with a hot guy with the D. It was good D. And then, then she meets the identical twin. And it's like, okay, well, that has to be like kind of the same thing.
No, you're not convincing me. Like, it's like been there, done that. Move on. More fish in the sea.
Okay, well, you know what? You're a pure woman, which is good. I'll give you a story of a woman who maybe not be so pure, and maybe why you don't want to do this situation, right? So there's a woman who did just that, hooked up with identical twins, 4 days apart from one another, okay? And the worst case scenario happened. What do you think that is?
They found out?
No. Worse than that?
Worse than that?
Yes. She got pregnant.
Oh, that's a great thing.
Is it a great thing? Well, it's a great thing to, yes, have a baby, all right? But I'll tell you what's not great. You don't know what your dad is. You don't know who the dad is, okay? Because, since she got pregnant, the court told her that it may be impossible to determine which one is the father of her child because they have identical DNA.
That's crazy.
The case went to the UK Court of Appeal where judges said modern DNA testing can confirm that the father is one of the twins, which she already knew.
Right.
But because their DNA is essentially identical, the test cannot tell which brother it actually is.
Wait, so does that mean like double daddies, right?
I mean, double dads who don't want to be involved, maybe? I don't know. It's a tough situation. I mean, if it was a brother, I don't have a brother. Rico has a brother, or he just popped in. Say you have a situation where you and your brother hook up with the same girl. I know you're not identical twins, but say this is the scenario, and they can't tell whether it's you or your brother. What do you do in that situation?
They can't tell whether it's me or him if that was the situation?
Yes, I'm just saying the hypothetical.
I'm clarifying. I don't think that would ever happen. It'll be embarrassing. I would have to admit it.
Would you pair with your brother, though, to be like a double dad?
No.
Why not?
Because in this case, they are identical twins in this situation, right?
That'd be so awkward.
Yes. So one of the brothers was listed as the father of the child's birth certificate, but after the couple broke up, both twins ended up claiming that they might be the dad. And that's when the courts got involved, right? So they're both
tax purposes, maybe?
Maybe, right? The judge ruled with the current science, there's basically a 50-50 chance either twin could be the father, and technically needed to try to separate their DNA differences would be extremely expensive and still not even give a clear answer. So they're just kind of screwed in this situation. For now, the court says the situation remains unsolved, meaning that the child may grow up not knowing which twin is her biological father, at least until science catches up. So maybe in like 20 years. But this is basically a scenario where if it was like the Maury Povich show, Maury Povich would come out, look at the envelope, and say, "Yeah, I got nothing." You guys are on your own.
Toodaloo.
Yeah. So I guess that's the lesson of the day. Don't sleep with identical twins if you don't want this problem to happen.
So close together too. I mean, she could have waited 1 month, like a new cycle.
And she likes what she likes. And again, it's just like, it's kind of like, you're still continuing a relationship, just so happens to be a whole nother person with a different name, but everything else is the same.
That's wild.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Crazy news story that I wanted to share with you today. We're going to hit the reset, be back to your F My Life. But first, I do have a pair of tickets for Cypress Hill. I promised you before 8 a.m. So caller number 69 right now will win a pair of tickets so you can see them for free on July 25th at Off Amphitheater. Call now. Off air. Rico's been blowing Mari's mind. Just watch it. It's like going down rabbit holes. Let me showcase this real quick. It's kind of like a Florida man. This is a Florida man, but also this Florida man can be considered an alpha man. Now, I don't know if you recall when we had like a serious hailstorm. It was like over a decade ago.
No, it was more recent than that.
Well, hailstorms happen from time to time that are really bad and cause damage to the car, right? And sometimes, like there was one in Phoenix, I would say in 2014, that
they're bad, man.
Yeah, it wrecked everyone's car, and I ended up getting a couple $1,000s to fix my car, and I just pocketed it, right? And I was like, fuck it.
I look cool.
Yeah, I'm going to roll around with this.
Looks like I was in a bullet fight.
Yeah, don't even care. I just want the money. Rockwell 2x1, who's this?
My name's Frank. What caller am I?
Oh, no, you know what? You're watching the clip, and I appreciate you, Frank, but that was from earlier this morning.
Oh.
Yeah, I tricked you.
Nah, no worries, bro. No worries.
Yeah, thanks for watching the broadcast, though. I appreciate you. All right. Whoops, sorry, I hung up on him. All right, so, but let me get back to this. So, obviously, like you can take the payout from the insurance, but a lot of people don't want their precious baby to get messed up at all. This Florida man laid on his car.
I didn't even see that was a body.
Yeah, that's a guy
what?
trying to protect his car from hail damage. Check it out.
Do not try this at home. A Florida man risked bodily harm to protect his car from a burst of heavy hail in Palm Bay.
Jeez.
He confirmed afterward that, yes, indeed, it hurt.
So what we were just watching on the broadcast was a Florida man who actually got on his car to prevent it from getting hail damage. And he said, yes, it did hurt.
He also confirmed he was drunk.
Yes.
He had too many apple teenies.
That's still an alpha move, though.
Hell yeah.
I mean, honestly, a lot of men, their closest and most coveted relationship is that with their car, right? And so this Florida man loved his car, didn't want hail to damage it. And so he laid across it being like, take me instead.
He's blasting Nickelback.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're back here on the air. Let me give you a new trend that is pretty disturbing. Now, you heard the phrase dead ass. Now, dead ass means you're serious, okay?
Yeah.
So I saw you got confused. That's what the kids say. Now, dead ass might turn into a phrase where you talk about that as a compliment for somebody's nice booty. And you just know they had a cosmetic procedure that gave them that dead ass, that hot dead ass. The reason why is because zombie filler is now a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, people are now injecting fat from dead bodies as a cosmetic trend.
Yeah.
You say, yeah.
Why not? I mean,
Because
it's just
it'll
a
haunt
vessel.
you. It's gonna you're gonna have
No,
booty
it's
ghosts.
a vessel. Your soul is gone.
Mm.
Like this whole thing about cadavers, like they're cadavers. Like what else are you gonna do with me? Just like let me rot in the ground? Like
you would
no,
get
I feel
dead
very
ass
strongly.
injections?
Absolutely.
Oh, Mari.
Yeah, well,
Pay
I
it
mean,
forward,
she's
right?
been doing Botox since the 20s, so
Yeah.
you
You can take my stuff when I die if you want.
Thanks, Mari.
what part?
All of it. I mean, like it's just a
I
vessel.
got dibs on the left breast.
Oh, that's kind
Oh, how sweet.
That's a fatty tissue. What?
You can make some soap
I
out
can't
of it?
have your boob, dude.
Sure. You know what?
It's
done
a
lot of good in this
vessel,
world.
Mari.
It's a vessel.
What if I take all the fun parts?
You know what? Fine. I'm gone. Go. Do what you want.
Oh, I
I'm a
will.
witness.
And he'll witness.
No, I'm a witness. I'm not going to watch that. Thank you, though.
Well, look,
good, I'm
okay,
good.
so people are now injecting fat from human corpses into their bodies to enhance areas like their pecs, boobs, and butts. And the procedure is now being cleverly nicknamed a zombie filler. This fat comes from donated cadavers through tissue banks. It's clean, sterilized, processed into a product that surgeons can inject. And it's crazy too, because it is people trying to like give themselves faux muscles. And usually the people that are doing this are people that lost a lot of weight using like Ozempic. And a lot of that weight is the muscle. It's the muscle that kind of goes away first.
Right.
And then the fat. And then they're like, well, I still want to look like I'm not lazy as hell. Can you inject pecs to make it look like they're muscular pecs, even though they'll feel like breasts? And the surgeons are like, I got you, fam. Dead ass, dead boobs, dead everything. The procedure can take less than an hour. It's not cheap, depending on how much you use. It could cost thousands, even $10,000s of dollars. So if you think you
depending on the cadaver, like
Yeah,
how
right.
hot they were.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like they were really hot back when they were alive.
And I know that you're like, hey, it's a vessel, but if my soul was to be trapped anywhere in my body, it's going to be trapped in my fat. Like my fat will be possessed. That's the part of me that's been with me for an eternity.
That's what I'm saying. You get these injections, you start hearing voices. You're like, I think it's the ass injections.
Yeah.
I think they're haunting me.
No.
No thanks.
Now, critics do say that the ethics in this are weird because donor paperwork often doesn't specifically say their body fat can be used for your ass. Like nobody's like, I want to. Sometimes there's certain programs
donation,
and businesses out there. First off, you donate organs to save a life, or you could like be cremated and then inserted into a seed to be planted as a tree. Nobody wants to be somebody's fupa. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's you don't mind. Well, there are supporters of this though. They say it's just another form of donated tissue. And it's like, hey, you donated it. Don't ask us what we're going to do with it. Yeah. And similar to how cadaver bone is already used in dental work and orthopedic surgery. So, we're just recycling.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Technically, if someone's out there walking around with a dead person's butt fat, that's fine. Because surgeons are calling it the ultimate body recycling program.
Dead ass.
Dead ass. So does that not change the definition of dead ass?
You have to be like, what do you mean? You think I have zombie tissue in my butt?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm just being very serious right now.
Yeah. I mean, try to keep up. I mean, it's depending on the context. Yeah. If I'm staring at your ass and I say dead ass, I'm serious that you have a zombie ass.
Yep.
Natural.
Yeah. Now, okay, not all body donations or organ donations are bad news. I actually have good news that kind of like piggybacks on this. It turns out you're never too old to donate your organs. There was recently a World War II veteran who recently passed away at 100 years old.
Wow.
But this World War II vet apparently didn't have any PTSD because he had a perfectly healthy liver. Oh. Anyone over the age of 65 that has a healthy liver, that's just like an anomaly.
That's crazy.
I thought you automatically become an alcoholic in that age.
Right, exactly.
Well, he wasn't. And so now he has the distinction of being the oldest organ donor in U.S. history. And someone out there is like, please, I need a liver to live. And they're like, we got you one. You're like, oh, thank God I'm going to live a long life. They're like, it's from a 100-year-old. Oh, no. It's like giving me a battery that's like on 10%.
It's just like the Groupon for liver. Like what?
Well, apparently, this organ may be able to live 2, maybe 3 lifetimes because it's an anomaly of sorts. But good news. So if you're like a senior citizen and you get your all tested out, maybe you could still donate your organs and your organs might save a young life.
Some people might be like a Toyota, it just keeps going.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, take care of it.
Yeah, so there you go. We learned a new definition for dead ass, and you're never too old to donate your liver. Let's hit a reset on that note. We'll be back with more after music from The Offspring. Dead ass.
I have dude, speaking of, it creeped me out when you said, a little bit, with the whole organ donor thing. Do you guys have organ donor on your?
Yes.
I mean, it's a personal question.
I do.
I do not.
I do.
I do not. But only because I am
greedy.
No, I'm
Religious.
Suspicious. And
what are they going to do with it?
Hear him out. I want to hear this. Yeah.
Anthony Jeselnik just has a joke in his latest comedy special. Jeselnik's a great mind and a very deadpan in his delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I was talking to my brother-in-law, and he's one of those conspiracy theorists, one of these idiots. And he's not an organ donor, and he doesn't have that he's an organ donor on his ID because he says that if paramedics see that you're an organ donor on your ID, they will let you die to harvest your organ.
Exactly. That's what I was about to ask. I've heard stories online about that. Like if you're even like minusculely like injured or close to death, they see that like, oh, let's just let them die.
But this is Jeselnik, and this is a joke. And he goes, and it's hard to argue with him because he's a paramedic. That's the joke. The joke. So he's just like, yeah. So, but there's a little reality in the joke. I mean, not that there's a real. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to talk to paramedics, and they would have to admit that they actually do this or profit off this. But it does. There's enough of distrust in me. Obviously, I'm very distrusting when it comes to anything outside of my orbit. That I'm just like, and at the same time, I'm like, I'm sure my organs aren't that good anyway.
It's just it's a terrifying thought though, being in like the back of like an ER and then like, you know, in a ambulance and having like two surgeons over you like bleeding out a little bit. They look at your car like organ donor.
No,
like,
they don't do
and
that.
you just black out. They're just going like putting their gloves on.
Say this. Okay, what about this? What about this?
No.
Like
the
money. Paramedic is in the ambulance, and then you got somebody that's like on death's door, and they could save its life, but then they see organ donor and they're like, actually, my daughter needs a kidney.
She's not going to get that kidney though, and they know that. It's a long line of people that are in line.
Well, she's skipping the line right there. She has it in her hands.
They're not going to like take it out and put it in their daughter.
You don't know.
I mean, they got training. You know, who knows?
Good news, baby.
I'm telling you. I mean, I understand. I understand it's stupid, and I actually have a friend right now that needs, I think, a kidney or a liver. Her name's Tracy, and I hope that she does get that. And I think it's a kidney, and it's something I've even contemplated. I actually had somebody donate a kidney through the show, and it was an amazing story. Her name's Amy Donahue, and Amy, and so she came on the show, and we were talking about this, and I think someone called in asking saying they needed a kidney transplant. And so she did. She donated her kidney to this woman.
Wow.
Yeah. And saved this woman's life. And then she's super close with that. And she attributes the show to this.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's that was low power radio, right? LPFM.
Damn.
When I sit down and write the retrospect in the book of this little run and journey that we're on, it's going to be pretty interesting. Oh, I didn't even tell you running into my ex-girlfriend the other day.
You haven't told her yet?
Oh, no.
You haven't heard that story? Oh my, this is wild.
Can I retell this story real quick?
For it.
Okay, so because you'll remember when I got love bombed by a girl, and then all of a sudden she ghosted me out of nowhere. Yes, right.
You sent flowers.
I sent her a few flowers.
Mm-hmm.
See, she remembers very well because this was a thing. This is what motivated me to go to the gym.
Bye, though.
No, I know. Hey, don't worry. Trust me, my feelings are long gone. Okay? It did take me a minute to process it and stuff like that. I was hurt. I felt dejected, and I was confused because everything was like it was love bomb, and then all of a sudden nothing, and with no fights, no warning sign, no nothing. Right? It was just done and blocked, and I felt it was unfair, right? Because at the end of the day, we were only together for like 5 weeks. So just say, I'm not feeling it anymore. And I'm like, okay, I could process that.
But it was a passionate 5 weeks.
It was. Oh my God. It was so passionate. She was into some freaky shit. I learned about BDSM through her and rope play in particular. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. So I'm working the Roadrunners game on Saturday, and the pregame, there was a band playing, jamming. And then all of a sudden I see my buddy who's like a family friend that I've known since I was 18 years old. And he comes up to me, he's like, Brad, what are you doing here? Right. And that's how he knows, but he knows me as Beef too. And when I was doing my show and started my radio show in Phoenix, he was one of my first listeners who would listen all the time. He'd send me links to music, keep me hip to it. Then he ended up working for the Crescent Ballroom. He's linked into the music industry. Now he's a GM at the Van Buren, but he's also worked tons of casino parties with me and my mom. And so we put hours in together. Just working gigs. And he was very close friends to my older stepbrother. And so he's a family friend, and he knew my stepfather very well before he passed. So I look at him as like, kin. And so he's like, hey, what do you do? What's going on? I haven't seen you forever. And we're catching up and everything. I'm like, oh, it's great. I'm like, what are you doing down here? And he's like, I'm here with my girlfriend.
It was her.
It was her.
Did she come up and you're
yes.
like,
so she comes up to me and I'm like, and I didn't blow her spot, right? I go, oh, nice to meet you. And she's
you
like,
said nice to meet you.
Yeah. And I went to shake her hand. She's like, nice to meet you too.
Oh, she went with it.
Yeah, she went with it.
You still have strong hands.
And then for the next 10 minutes, like I was telling Rico yesterday, JD's talking me up. What an awesome guy I am.
Oh
and
my God.
Because he knows me. And to know me is, vouch, right? So he's talking me up. I'm like, stop. I'm seriously fucking stop, man. Yeah. And then I'm like, and then I started returning the favor because he's a great guy. right? And I'm like, no, he's really a great guy. You take care of this one.
Yeah, don't ghost him.
Yeah. Giving her a look
good
like,
to him.
yeah, you be good to him. You don't do what you did. You know what you do. I didn't say any of that. I said it with my eyes, right?
Said it.
Yeah, the whole thing. And then afterwards, I got him. They went to the game. I got him up on the glass so they could sit there and everything, and then let them be. I don't know if he knows. I did tell the story now twice, and it's a trip though. But this was that girl.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So,
And the cat
Universe
never
be
came
crazy.
Uh-huh. But wait, they're gonna do long distance then.
they've been doing long distance. Who knows
That's
how
not
long
good.
they've been dating? She works at a venue in town that I go to. I love, and I was like, hey, I'm surprised I haven't seen you there. And that should have been a tell. And she's like, I think I saw you there once. and again, he should have been like, well, you guys are just meeting. Why the fuck would you know that, right?
Yes.
Piecing it together bit by he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
These
well.
two have a weird aura.
But he was my brother before, and he's my Eskimo brother now. And
That's
for
beautiful.
that, yeah, exactly. I don't think we're Eskimo brothers. Oh, you know what? Don't tell me. but you know what? As long as it's not with a select few.
Oh wait, that
then
means
I
hunting
welcome
and seal
it.
together, right?
No, it means yeah. You know what it means. All right. Earlier this morning, we did F My Life, and in case you missed it, don't worry because we got an excellent call from Desiree, and it was a great F My Life. And in case you missed it, it went like this. I think I have it set up here. Let's do it. Another one. Rock 1 2.1. Who's this?
Desiree.
Desiree. You calling for those Cypress Hill tickets, right?
No.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
You got
I'm
yay.
calling for at the
F
FML.
My Life. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. What's your F My Life, Desiree?
So for my daughter's birthday weekend trip to Great Wolf Lodge, I have a little Mini Cooper, so I rented a car. And I live out by the fairgrounds, so I rented from the airport Hertz because this was the closest to my house for picking it up, and I could leave my car in the parking lot, pay for the parking, whatever.
Right.
Well, I didn't know that at the airport, because of the stupid airport rules, in order to rent a car from them, you have to have a credit card. I just had 2 bank accounts, debit cards. And so they wouldn't give me the car. They said I could go online and I could switch my rental to one of the in-town locations. But when I went to go do that, it wouldn't let me do that online. So I called the in-town location and I'm like, look, I had a car rented, but I don't have a credit card to rent from the airport and it won't let me switch online. And they're like, well, then you have to cancel and rebook. But then if you rebook in less than 24 hours, you need a credit card. And I was like, so no matter what, you guys are just going to take my cancellation money.
Right.
And I'm out of car for the weekend.
Oh.
That's crazy.
I know it's the
Ruthless.
worst, but and you don't even realize the importance of having a credit card until situations like this. It is, and I went
Exactly.
Yeah, I went almost 40 years without a credit card. My first credit card was a
Damn.
Kohl's card when I came down here, right? Because I was afraid of my irresponsibility that I'd max it out and I'd forever be in debt. Now I have a bunch of credit cards and I'm getting into debt.
There you go. A true American.
Yeah.
Well, I did the same thing. Kohl's was my first credit card, but I had a real credit card. But then when inflation hit after 20, using it and just started paying it off because I realized that my bank account was going significantly down and my credit card was going up. And I was like, no, I'm going to get rid of this. And so I paid it off and don't have a credit card now. And I'm like, well, now I wish I had it again.
I know. It's too bad you can't put that rental car in your Kohl's card, right? That would have been great. It'd be like, do I get 30% off this rental card, right?
Does it come with khakis?
That's definitely an F My Life, Desiree.
Oh, yes.
So did you end up not going to Great Wolf Lodge?
No, we ended up taking 2 cars.
That's good. All right. And
yeah.
it was just up in Phoenix and not like across the country. So could have been way worse, but I definitely understand your headache. And that definitely is an F My Life of a day.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. You agree with that, Mari?
Absolutely.
Rico?
Hell yes.
Yes, Desiree, all the way around F My Life. Thank you so much for that call. I appreciate it. In fact, actually, if you stay on the line, I'm going to hook you up with a pair of tickets for the Pima County Fair. Okay?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? We just un-F your life. And you don't even need a credit card for that.
No?
I would still suggest you get a credit card, though. All right. So stand by. We'll get you here in a second, okay? All right. We'll bang out a couple of emails while we're at it here. First one sent to me by Caleb. He said, I walked in on my dog slurping my coffee. I'm not sure how long we've been sharing my morning cup of Joe. Oh, F my life, Rico.
Yes.
All right, Mari.
Big baby.
What?
Yeah, aren't dogs' mouths pretty clean?
No, dude. No, they lick their butts.
Mari.
And yeah.
Don't cats do?
They lick their butts too. And, trust me, any animal who has the ability to do so does that. You're lucky we can't. All right. So F my life, we veto Mari.
Okay.
Next one sent to me by Lena. She said, I caught my... Say that again, Mari. We're on the air. Rock 1 2 by 1 KFMA.
There was a comment on the stream about collecting hair from a drain so that, I save people's hair from clogged bathtub cables so I can combine it and sell it to a wig shop like Waba.
Okay. I mean, that's a side hustle for sure. I mean, that's also weird. You can make voodoo dolls that way too, right? I just watched Weapons, so I'm like, hey, what are you doing with that hair?
Yeah, what do you want that hair for?
Yeah, once you watch Weapons, you'll understand. It's a trip. All right, let me tell you this story. This is not a morning moron, but it should be. Some people don't deserve good things, and we should have known this from the very get-go when we heard the story about James Farthing winning the $167 million Powerball. When that happened in Kentucky last year. Now, when he won the Powerball, he already had multiple felonies, in and out of jail, prison, the whole thing. But you think, okay, James, now that you're a multimillionaire, you're going to turn your life around, huh? And he's like, no, I'm just going to double down on the crime stuff, right?
Of course. That's all I know.
Yeah. This is James here, right? And he just recently got arrested again for the third effing time, dude.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and it's for stupid stuff. Again, some people don't deserve these good things. So you should just take that money away from them. It's like, sorry, you're too stupid for this, James. We're going to have to give it to charity. All right, so during, when he won the lottery, right, during that time, he's been arrested not once, not twice, but now for a third time. On Friday, they took him into custody and charged him now with little crime here, marijuana possession and second-degree burglary. You got $167 million, James.
You don't get the thrill, Beef.
What are you burgling
about
for?
The thrill.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, about the thrill. I want to slap this guy so hard, dude. And
you had everything.
Marijuana possession. You're a $167 million Powerball winner. Move to a state that has legalized marijuana. There's so many solutions to the problems that continue to persist in James' life, but he's too stupid to recognize. And money solves those solutions.
Okay, if you were him, if you went to jail, do you think part of you would be like, hey, I'll give somebody $1 million, they break me out?
Why break out?
Because it's the thrill.
Buy the jail. Buy the jail and give yourself the key and then walk out.
There you go. Now we're talking.
Give me a break, man. It's $167 million. It's ridiculous.
It is.
I am mad because obviously the amount of money I spent on Powerball tickets in my lifetime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just for this sack of to win it and just continue to he's not even going to be enjoy it. I tell you what though, him going to jail, he's still going to live like a king. He's going to have all the money on his books. Yep. That means all the honey buns, all the accessories that will buy him all the smokes for all the card games that he can win and lose to. It doesn't matter. But at the same time, F this guy all day long. At first, I was just like, oh, no, that's cool. You had a rap, but now you're cool. Now you can live like a pimp. And then just party it up until you OD on something.
Right.
You can't even do that, you dumbass.
Dummy.
Yeah, so lock him up, throw away the key. Don't let him buy the jail that he's living in.
But give me your money.
Yeah, give me your money, James.
Come on.
I'm going to be a burglar to him. I know he's not going to be around the house right now.
Pay you to live vicariously through you type of thing. Like, this is what I would do with the money. Do that for me.
Yeah, dude.
Like, yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, I'll write you letters or kites. I'll send you kites in prison, you stupid son of a bitch. So mad. All right. We're going to wrap things up with a beef tip after these words. So you can join us on the podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. It's maddening.
It is.
It's maddening to see that.
But still kind of, it's a big irony. It's just like, oh, go figure.
Yeah.
Of course he gets it.
All right. Let's see a couple of comments here. Let's see, my dogs are gross. They lick their privates, eat shit. Yeah, that's the...
I know, I take my back.
Okay, good.
I take it back.
Good. See, well, you know what we learned? Recently I had to send out an apology letter, right? And they were both my boss and even Mari were kind of surprised at the sincerity of it that I was able to do this. And I'm like, no, when I mess up, and I'm quick to apologize and admit it, in fact, actually to my detriment. In this society, in this world, obviously those in power have shown you time and time again that if you get caught doing something wrong, to double down and lie that you didn't do it in the first place. And that apparently is the key to success. Because I admit to wrongdoing even when I'm slightly in the wrong and it's kind of being misconstrued, and I've suffered repercussions of that. Don't necessarily meet the thing I was wrong for. But if I wouldn't admit it and I put a fight, then probably could have got it to the point where they're just like, fuck it, I'm just done talking about it.
You got a scum max.
Yeah, scum max.
Scum maxing.
Scum maxing is now a thing.
Yep.
Oh, is that a real term?
It is now.
Yeah, it has to be. Everything maxing is a thing, especially when it comes to just being a deplorable person. But being a deplorable person and scum maxing, as Rico coined it, is probably a way to kind of avoid any kind of repercussions of the actions that you did in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I should have learned when I got arrested for weed, right? Because I end up having Class 6 felony because of this. And what I did was immediately take blame. And I took blame for the weed that I had in the car, all of it, my weed and my two friends' weed, right? What I didn't know at the time is that was possession with intent to sell. It took my misdemeanor charge and turned it into a felony magically, just by me trying to take the high road and look out for my friends, being like, I'm already busted here. There's no reason for them to get busted too.
You did that immediately in possession or in custody?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Right when I got arrested, I'm just like, it's mine, Your Honor. It's not theirs.
You were naive.
They have
You're
nothing
young.
to do with it. Yeah. And I'm looking out for my boys.
Damn.
And I was raised.
How old were you?
17.
Okay, so you're not an adult though.
No, I was charged as an adult.
Why?
They waited till I was 18. Arizona, baby.
They waited until you're 18.
And so when I was 18, I got gifted a felony charge, and I was a felon for the first 10 years of my adult life, meaning no voting, no job opportunities, no nothing, right? In and out of jail, things like that. And it took me a while to turn that around. And even today, it still kind of follows me, even though it's supposed to be expunged from my record. I almost got denied from the last apartment that I tried to move into, not a couple of years ago. Where they're like, hey, it came up. And I was like, no, I need you to dispute that. And I'll tell you what it is. And the girl's like, no, don't tell me. And I'm like, no, I want you to know.
Yeah.
This isn't like kitty peddling shit.
Right. I'm going to be transparent on
Yes,
this.
it was for an ounce of weed, and we live in a legal state. Dispute it and double check. And she did. And luckily, I was able to move into the place I was trying to get into, right? But it still was a hiccup and a pain in the ass. So it has been following me my entire life.
So the comment right now, it says, can't you file papers to get that expunged? Now that it's legal? Yeah.
Yes, and I have. But unfortunately, they continue to still pop up.
That sucks.
Because it's, again, in the hands of a state employee doing their job.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like I said, if you really do the actual, looking into it, they see that it's dropped to a misdemeanor and I'm not a technical felon.
Right.
But it's still
good. It's good of you right away to right off the bat address that. Be like, look into it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you're all like shy about it, like, don't bother. Don't
it was a
look
big
into
deal. It was a big deal for all my 20s.
Right.
And so when
That
I
sucks.
did get the right to vote, it took me a while to get around to it because I'm like, fuck you guys, right? I still haven't done jury duty. That was the one good thing is they didn't ask you to do jury duty.
Yeah.
So
that's how
cool.
you get out of it?
Yeah.
Oh, good to know.
You just commit one felony,
Just one felony?
and then you don't have to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. A little one,
Worth
too.
it.
It was such a little one. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Yeah, just imagine that. You get a felony for something in a state that is so legalized now that it's a multi-million-dollar company. Or sorry, it's a billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, imagine getting arrested in prison for marijuana possession, coming out, and the first thing you see you see a billboard for marijuana.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be the most.
You're like, that's what I was doing. They got me into prison. And now this
Right.
guy is making all this money and stuff.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Oh.
Yeah. And a lot of people got screwed over because of that, Now the state is getting screwed over because I opened the show talking about this, that tax revenue from marijuana sales has been going down. And the reason why it's been going down is not because our consumption is going down. Oh, no, our consumption is staying the same. It's because we have an overabundance of marijuana, so now the weed is getting cheaper. And with the weed getting cheaper, then that means the percentage of tax is less and they're getting less money into the state. It's unfortunate, though, because a lot of that weed money does fund our schools and other services that we desperately need. And apparently we don't have anything else resourcing it. This entire state is ran by weed money. You love it.
Ganja economy.
You got to love it. The ganja economy, has been fueling this whole ship. I mean, the whole reason why we could do Suntran for annoying. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I got to retract that. Immediately retract that. Yeah, they have nothing to do with that funding, I'm sure. But they do get tax money, and I'm sure some of that tax money may be from the taxes we collect from various things we sell legally throughout the state of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Let's wrap things up with a beef tip before I get fired. All right, so our beef tip today is how to train your brain to be more optimistic. Okay, so I am actually surprisingly a very optimistic person. Yeah, it blows my girl's mind all the time, right? But I always try to look at that silver lining, and I really believe in that effort. If you you think it, you feel it, you could become it. You kind of envision it. Yeah, manifest it. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Well, according to a behavioral scientist and psychologist, there are 3 easy science-backed ways to have a more positive mindset. First, to make a to-do list, not a to-do list, a to-do list. At the end of the day, you write down everything you've done, not just big stuff, but little things like finishing laundry, drinking enough water. Those goals is to remind yourself that you did a lot, and that builds confidence. Ta-da.
I love that.
All right, number 2, schedule worry time. So instead of stressing all day long, give your worries a set time and place. Write them down as they pop up, then come back to them later. And then ask yourself, can I control this? If the answer is no, try letting it go. Try not to be concerned about things you cannot control, right? Like someone being a jerk at the DMV, right? Try not to get upset about that. You can't control that. They're having a bad day. That's not on you, right?
It's very stoic of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tom, I'm a stoic person.
Yeah, you are.
And finally, the third way that you could train your brain to be more optimistic, use realistic affirmations. It's called the 7 out of 10 rule. Okay. So pick something you believe, like 70% already. Like, I'm a hard worker, and say it daily. You're like, yeah, you're 70% a hard worker, 30% lazy ass. It's okay. All right. Over time, your brain starts to believe it more, and you could change that 70% into 100%. And these are 3 science-backed ways to have a more positive mindset. So if you find yourself getting into a mindset of constant negativity that is getting you nowhere, try to train your brain to be more optimistic, and you might be surprised at some of the things that may come your way because of that.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! We had a good show today. Ta-da! We're going to be doing beef games Thursday, St. Philip's Plaza. We're manifesting a big, successful, fun night that night, and we invite you and all your friends to join us to win tons of prizes. Again, it goes from 7 to 9. DJ Looney's dropping the tunes. You could sign up at 6. It's free to enter. You just got to be 21 years old to play the games, and then walk away with tickets from Shine Down, amusement park tickets, gift cards, so much more. Presented by Miss UI. Your rights are her priority. That's all the time we have for the show. Thank you for listening. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish upon a side of beef,
Ta-da!
come and end to
That's
all
how you do
your
a
grief.
local podcast.
But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.
Babuski.